Good morning. It is Monday, September 26th. Sorry, I did not have a video last week. I recorded on a few days, but I had morning recess duty. We had a field trip and we've been working on this ongoing project. So by the end of the week, I was like, whatever I would piece together, it wouldn't even make sense because I just was too busy to actually remember to record. So scratched it and we'll start fresh this week. Last week we talked about the engineering process and we've been working on these projects all week. So, it wasn't really much to talk about. Like I kind of was like planning on checking in on like how they were doing each day, but our buddies are gonna come play these golf courses today. So I can talk more about this project after school today and kind of fill you in on whatever else is going on. Our caterpillars are starting to do their chrysalises. But yeah, I will actually remember to check in today. So I will see you guys this afternoon, let you know what we do, let you know how the golf courses go, and I'll see you then. All right, so it is the end of the day. We are officially done with that project I showed you this morning. Our room is not torn apart, but we folded up the tables to make room. So yeah, we're gonna get picked up here, but I'll explain that first. So last week we started talking about the engineer design process and how inventors and people who make things, they first brainstorm ideas, they make a plan, they try it out, make a prototype, they make adjustments, they make it better. And you kind of keep going through that process until you're satisfied with your product. So after we had talked about the engineer design process, we brainstormed about like mini golf, what they've seen at mini golf courses, how could you make it better, things that they liked and how it's obstacles that make it fun, but it's not too hard. Like it's possible to do, but sometimes there's tricky parts to it and whatever else. So then they designed their own. I had materials here for them. We got new Chromebooks this year, so we saved the boxes so they each had one cardboard box to use from there. I had some popsicle sticks, pipe cleaners, cups, that type of stuff, and they made their own mini golf course. I guess not a whole course, they each made their own hole. And a lot of their ideas did not work right away, so that's where we talked about if it doesn't work, what can you do to change it? What can you, once they were done, like what could they do to make it better? After our first day of working, I didn't let anybody just be like, oh, I'm done. I said, all right, what can you do now to make it better? Like test it, does it work? What do you need to do? What can you change? So we worked on it for 3 days, probably like a half hour each day. Maybe on the fourth, maybe we had like 15 or 20 minutes on Friday. But we had a field trip on Thursday and we had art and library on Wednesday last week. So they worked on it last week, a few days, and they did awesome. Like they were just working, they were engaged, they were having fun. And then today we had our second grade buddies come and play them. So that was a really fun way to end it. What wasn't fun is having to store all that stuff on my back table in the back of my room last week. It was a disaster. A lot of people said they would be stressed out from it, but I don't know. We just pushed it to the back, so we still had our learning area up here. And my area was just a mess then, but I'll try to throw in some pictures of what it looked like and maybe let me know if that would have stressed you out, but we did it. The rest of the day, our books this week, our interactive reloads are on empathy. So we read this book, Step Right Up. It was a really good book. It was very long, but it was a really good message and I had never heard of Doc and Jim Key before, so this was fun to read. For our little grammar review for writing today, we talked about plural nouns, and tomorrow we'll talk about the difference between plural and possessive. So we did that today, and then we also talked about our reading notebooks, about why we have them. We got those set up with the first labels to keep track of books we've read. Let's see. For math, we talked about naming triangles. So last week we had talked about by angles. So today we talked about by sides. I started the second series of Unfortunate Event books. We finished the first one last Friday. So we started the reptile room today. Our buddies came, and that was it. So I have they either took home their golf courses or we got rid of them. We salvaged what we could use again, but we had all of our tables moved out of the way so we could spread out on the floor with our buddies. So I'm gonna get our room put back together. I'm gonna vacuum a little bit. That way, again, this was my doing, so I don't want the custodian to do extra work. I already took out the garbage that we used, and I'll get this stuff put away so we'll finally have a back table again. All right, that is it. We have a clean room again. It feels good. We are all put back, all of our tables. I vacuumed up like our stuff. He'll obviously vacuum with his more intense vacuum tonight. This back table has not been cleared for over a week. Same with this back counter. It was full of projects. My desk is clean. I'll organize up there tomorrow because that's where all those boxes had been up until then. So that stuff's just kind of all chucked up there. But it feels good. On to the next science unit tomorrow. So anyways, thanks for tuning in for today. Sorry for missing last week, and I'll see you in the morning. Goodbye. Hey, it is after school. It's actually like 5:30. I had to get out to take out our pontoon today, so didn't really check in at school. But here I am. I mean, just look at this. So I'm just here waiting for the people who store up for the winter to pick it up at the landing. And I'm gonna bike back to the cabin. So anyways, I will let you know what we did yesterday and what we do tomorrow, because obviously I did not have time to fill you in before I left school today. So this is my check-in, and see you tomorrow. One last view. We love fall Minnesota. The leaves aren't quite changing fully yet, but they're starting to. Good morning, happy Wednesday. I already spilled coffee all over myself, so just clean that up. So it's a good start to the day. I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of what we did yesterday, and then I'll let you know what we do today after school. Our books this week are on empathy. So our book we read yesterday was The Boy and the Whale. This was a realistic fiction book, and we talked a lot about just kind of like the character's motivation to do what he does in this book, not ruining it, but obviously you can kind of see he's helping a whale. And then talked about point of view, who was telling it, and yeah, it was a good book. This one was not as long. The one we read on Monday was super long. So this was a nice short little quick read, but it was good. For writing, we talked about the difference between plural and possessive nouns. And then for our reading lesson, well, yesterday we did a word work lesson, so that would have been, we talked about contractions. So talked about a lot about apostrophes yesterday. I also forgot that we have a bunch of Scholastic news, so we did that for the first time yesterday. We did the first article of this one about creature comebacks and how scientists are looking for missing animals and what happens if they find them. For math, we talked about quadrilaterals. I honestly did the exact same lesson I do from 3rd grade because the skill doesn't change at all. It's just about being able to know their attributes and all the different names and just kind of understanding the hierarchy that, you know, a square is technically a rectangle, but the square is the best name for it. So we did that yesterday. And for science, we're going to start talking about heat, electricity, and magnetism. So yesterday we just talked about what heat is and how it's produced. We were going to do a little activity where they were going to go around and measure the temperature of different things, but we ran out of time, so we'll do that today. Today is also our day where we have everything extra. So we have library this morning. We'll have STEAM instead of music and gym, so then they don't run around during gym, obviously, so they have a little bit more energy. Luckily, we have music or lunch and recess right after that. And then this afternoon we have art, which is an added I guess prep for me, but so they'll have that as well. So it gets hard to fit everything in on Wednesdays, but we're gonna do our best. So I will see you at the end of the day. Goodbye. All right, it is the end of the day. Almost said Thursday, but Wednesday. Again, this is our weird day, so we don't fit everything in, but we also get art and we get library, so those are 2 very important things as well. Our book today was A Symphony of Whales. So we talked about this and just, I don't know, it was actually a really good book and brought up a lot of questions just because in this book there are some whales that are trapped by ice in a bay, and a lot of them just had questions on why they couldn't just like swim under or break free, or why the people couldn't just go chop it to make way for it. So it was a lot of good discussion from this book, and it tied in well to our one from yesterday, and then just the overall theme of empathy that we're reading about this week. Speaking of empathy, we watched 2 videos just on YouTube about just like spreading kindness and empathy for others, and then I just kind of wrote about like what do they enjoy that people do for them that makes them feel better, like little things to go out of their way to show kindness, and what we could do more of at our school. So they just did a little, probably like 10 minutes of writing to reflect on that. We did our last geometry lesson for our geometry unit, so tomorrow we will review, and then we'll take our test on Friday. Today we just talked about symmetry, so they afterwards had to complete the shape. And then they had to do this mystery picture. So I gave them the where to make the picture on this side, and they had to copy it for that side to reveal the picture. Most of them got to the second one, and then that was about as far as we got. I did print some extra stuff in here, just like of drawing in case they had time, but most of them didn't quite get to that part, but that's okay because they got the gist of it with this stuff. And then read some of our book. We're reading The Reptile Room, and that's about it. We wrote a summary together on the chapter just to kind of practice doing that for a little shared writing and reflect on our reading, and that was our day. So yeah, it was a good day. But I'm gonna get out of here, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye. Hello, happy Thursday. Let's see, what did we do today? It was our first day having reading interventions, so our small group reading stuff started, so I had some kids leave. And here I'm planning on just doing more like a book club type stuff during that time with the ones who will stay with me. Don't really have that all completely figured out because I need to just get used to and see who's in here and whatnot. So today we did, for our word work, was just talking about the different ways to spell the short O sound and then doing a word sort with that. We read our book, which was Crane Wife, which was our last empathy book. And that was kind of our morning. Then this afternoon, we reviewed for our first math test, our first unit's geometry, and we did deal and no deal, so I'll kind of explain that. So first up, I made slides with review questions, and then I decided to have the kids have their Chromebooks at their tables in their groups, and I used Pear Deck. That way the presentation was on all their devices so they could see it from anywhere in the room. And for Deal or No Deal, the Hungry Teacher 8th, she has a TVT product that I had bought once for, I think it was multiplication review, and now I just kind of use the idea and have used it for other topics. So you come up with a list of prizes. You can do all free stuff. You could do, I always do some that are kind of free stuff I have on hand, and then I'll do some of my better prizes, like the higher priced ones are going to be ones that I would actually have to buy. So for example, like autographs from the teachers, free. Jolly Ranchers I have here. Extra recess, free. High five, fist bump, paper clips, all stuff I have on hand. Lunch in the classroom would be free, but then we did have some where it was like drink of the choice. Zorba's is a pizza place close by. So those are all, I put them in envelopes and I number them. One for here, it was 1 through 36. Each group grabs an envelope at the beginning of the game. And then as we answer questions, every time they answer it correctly, one group gets to come up and open an envelope. And if it's in there, that's when we cross it off, like in Deal or No Deal, like that's no longer available. So we wanted to avoid these ones. Well, they did. I wanted them to get it so I didn't have to spend money. And then at the end of the game, we went until we had, I went until there were 6 left up there, and then I let every group have the chance, like, do you want to keep the one that you started with, or do you want to switch it for one that's left? And then whatever their group had, that is what their group got as a prize. But we talked a lot before about how you need to be happy for other people. It's just a math game, it's for fun. Like if someone gets the Zorba's pizza and you get a paper clip, like it's just all about having the chance to get something cool. That's what makes it fun. So they all did actually a really good job because a couple groups just got high fives, a couple got like a piece of gum, and one got choose a drink. So we were kind of all over the place, but they handled it well. And I'm not a big participation award guy, so I like how this just like, hey, it's all about the thrill of maybe winning, you might not. So anyways, that was fun. We played for a while, went outside, came back in. I read some of The Reptile Room, and we did a late snack. Played a round of math facts on Gimkit and did capture the flag, and that was our day. So we'll take our math test tomorrow, and yeah, nothing too exciting to really report. So I'm out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Friday. Hello, happy Friday. I just realized I never once recorded, not this morning, not after school. Okay, Reggie's saying hi. But today wasn't a very exciting day. We took our geometry math test. We did some opinion writing. It was a day. But I currently am laying in bed watching Dahmer on Netflix. And I'll watch our high school football team once that starts at like 7. Once it'll be streamed. So I just got the TV in my room literally yesterday. And it's been great, but it's also dangerous because once I lay down here, it's so comfy I don't want to get out. So probably should have gone to the couch, but here we are. Yes, I'm eating pizza in bed on a Friday night. It's an exciting life. But yeah, so it was a good week.
it was, I was just talking to someone, we were just reminding ourselves that it's only the third week of school. So I feel like we've accomplished a lot. I mean, we already finished the math unit, and we have a lot to go, long way to go. But yeah, it's been good. So anyways, I will see you guys next week. It's our homecoming week, so it'll be another just kind of flexible week, I'll say. But it'll be fun. So see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.